And good afternoon, beautiful people. Hello. How's it going? I hope everyone is having an amazing day, and I hope everyone's team won in week 3 of the NFL season. But I already know they didn't, because most of my fan base root for the Atlanta Falcons, and last week they underperformed. All right. Woo! But so happy that the Lions are back on winning. They're back to winning. I'm happy they're back to winning. Crazy week last week. A lot of upsets. A lot of teams getting their very first win, which it happens at this point in the season. There's going to be some weird ones that, make you raise an eyebrow, kind of like the Houston Texans beating the Jacksonville Jaguars by 20 points. Or, the Miami Dolphins beating the Denver Broncos by 50 and almost obtaining the NFL record for most points scored in a game. But with that being said, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going over my Week 4 NFL Power Rankings as we move into the next week of football. Woo! I am so excited, and the Detroit Lions have a date with our rivals, the Green Bay Packers, on Thursday night. I am shivering in my timbers for that one. I always am. You can never trust the Lions to be consistently good, but I'm glad we have a winning record 3 weeks into the season, because that usually doesn't happen very often. But anyways, I'm not going to chit chat too long, especially because not many people are in here. I'm just going to go straight into it and talk about these power rankings. All right. And again, I'll say this every time, but you are not going to like my power rankings. Nobody ever does, except Faison. Faison last week was digging them, but since then he's changed his mind. Anyway, starting off with 32nd, the Chicago Bears. Again, nobody is going to shut the fuck up about this, but Taylor Swift was at the Chicago Bears Kansas City Chiefs game, and I know the Bears lost to the Chiefs, and usually when you lose to the Chiefs, it's kind of like you get a pass. All right, that doesn't usually, especially when I make power rankings, if anybody loses to the Chiefs, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's the Chiefs. The Bears lost by over 30 points. This is the worst team in football. I know Denver, who's 30th, put on an even worse show defensively, that is. But holy shit, the Bears have not looked good at any point in the season, whereas the Broncos, they could have been 2-0. Anyways, the Chicago Bears are officially the team where players take their girlfriends to so they could watch them kick some fucking ass. That's exactly what Travis Kelce did. I'll shut the fuck up about it since then, but that should tell you something, that's the game that Taylor Swift pulled up to, because the Bears are bad. And I'm so happy that they get to play in the NFC North, because the Lions still got 2 dates with them. Please, just win both of them, all right, guys? So far, this team has looked atrocious. Justin Fields, on paper, at this point in his career, is a worse quarterback than Mitch Trubisky. That could be debated. Trubisky hasn't looked terrible in Pittsburgh. Very few games he has played, but man, Justin Fields, whatever Patrick Mahomes said to him before the game, he didn't listen to. Not one bit. Now I get it. The coaching on the Bears is awful. Okay, maybe it's not awful. Justin Fields is a huge problem on that team, but things aren't clicking. I shouldn't be wasting too much time with the last place team. Moving on to 31st, the Carolina Panthers did, exactly what everyone probably expected out of them in week 3 and their loss at Seattle. I thought for a second that they might win the game. They only lost by 10. So maybe they should be 30th on this list rather than 31st. But again, another team throughout the season. They haven't been nearly as bad as the Bears, but there really has not been any bright spots on this Panthers team. And rookie quarterback Bryce Young didn't play. Obviously, Andy Dalton played. He played all right. Honestly, if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I might want to move forward with Andy Dalton. That way Bryce Young can learn under the veteran quarterback, and Carolina Panthers might have a better chance at winning some games. They got a date with the 0-3 Minnesota Vikings at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Maybe they'll get their first win. Probably not. But that's a game to not watch because both teams are 0-3. Anyways, holy shit. Moving on to 30th, the Denver Broncos. Holy shit. What happened? I have this fucking defense on fantasy because not a single day in my life has this defense ever been ass, except for Sunday, September 24th against the Miami Dolphins. Whoo! What the hell happened? What happened? Russell Wilson, people blame Russell Wilson all the time for this shit. I'm going to say this right now. If you haven't been looking at the numbers, I don't think this is Russell Wilson's fault in the slightest. Miami's defense is all right. It's a good defense. Russell Wilson did fine against the Miami defense. He is currently 8th in the league in passing yards, 6 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. He has a passer rating of 99.5. He is not the problem this time. If anything, he's improved, believe it or not, from last season. What has gotten significantly worse is the defense, and I can't really pinpoint why. It's got to be the defensive coordinator change. But oh my God, I haven't dropped them yet, but I'm dropping the Denver Broncos defense. Not something that anybody would be used to saying, but what do you expect me to do? They put up 70. That's negative points. They scored the special teams scored a touchdown, and they still got me negative points. They would have had like negative 8 points if it wasn't for a kick or punt return. Whew, I'm sorry. The Denver Broncos just might be a cursed team now, and they're going to be a train wreck until they get the next Peyton Manning. That just might be what happens. Anyways, not too different from the Denver Broncos. You have the Las Vegas Raiders. Another train wreck so far. Josh McDaniels has no idea what he's doing as a head coach. I didn't watch the game it was Sunday night. But I remember checking the score of the game, seeing on Google that the Las Vegas Raiders were driving. They're 4th and 4 in Steelers territory, had to go for it. I literally told my roommates, I was like, oh, Raiders got to go for it on 4th down. Nope. 3, take it or leave it. I'm sure Raiders fans have heard about it all day, but what? That's another head scratcher. Josh McDaniels, what are you doing? That's got to be like the worst decision ever. They kicked a field goal when they needed a touchdown to only then need another touchdown. And this man put his faith in the worst defense in the league to keep the Steelers offense off the field. Porter's back. Hi, Porter. Dude, how you doing, man? None of the kids here are here to harass you this time, so you can just hang out with me. But, woo. Las Vegas Raiders. Their only win is against the team below them by 1 point. I can't say that they should be higher at all. Porter, how'd you like your Chiefs this Sunday? Should be pretty happy. Yes, good. I am more than thrilled to play the Bears, for the Detroit Lions to play the Bears twice in the season. Yeah, they do have school. Or no, they don't have school. They're on, I don't know where you live, but where they live, they have this thing called fall break. So in like the middle of September, they get a week off. So that's what they're doing. Yes, Holly, they're all relaxing on the beach, having a great time, not watching the stream. Holly is my girlfriend. She's not their mom. I'd feel sorry for the mom that if they were all siblings Whew. I love them too. I wish they were here. I can try and get them in. But just know, just know if they come, we can give them an earful because their team fucking sucked on Sunday. Let's see here. All right. Anyways, 28th, I have the Tennessee Titans. Very horrible performance. Another bad performance in week 3. Now, the Tennessee Titans, unlike these other teams, do have a good win under their belt. So if you make the argument that they are a little low, I can understand it. Their team was the Atlanta Falcons. So they are all Falcons fans. You don't remember them saying Desmond Ridder is better than Patrick Maffrod? Because they wouldn't shut the fuck up. They wouldn't shut up about it. But now they did, because I got to talk some shit, which you don't usually do as a Lions fan, because you learn the hard way not to do that. But man, the offense didn't even play well. I'll get to that later. But Tennessee Titans, granted, the Browns' defense is insanely good. That's what we're learning. Deshaun Watson finally had a good game. So with the Browns, Deshaun Watson's playing well, and the Browns defense performs well. The Browns are an incredibly good team. Still, the Tennessee Titans only put up 3 points and haven't scored a touchdown on the road. So maybe I'm a little low on them. But 28th is where I have the Tennessee Titans as of headed into week 4. Now, moving on to 27th. You have the Falcons winning this Sunday. Oh, I don't know. Against the Jags in London though, that's like the Jags home court. I'm gonna be live tomorrow around the same time, most likely. And I'm gonna be doing my predictions for each of the game. This one, I'm just doing my power rankings, making them a little bit shorter. So, but sneak peek to London, first London game of the season. I feel like the Jags get that one. Atlanta's defense, I will say, though, has been way more impressive than I thought it would be, and the Jaguars' defense has been about as impressive as I thought it would be. So I wouldn't be shocked if if the Falcons win, I wouldn't be shocked, but give me the Jags. Hey, Kyle Pitts has a 100% touchdown percentage in London. So Kyle Pitts is probably going to score a touchdown. If you have him in fantasy, man, start him. He's going to get a touchdown. But anyways, hi, Jack. How's it going? Ooh. But anyways, 27th, the Houston Texans. I love this team. I love this team so much. CJ Stroud is balling. He is playing his heart out. He has yet to throw an interception. He is 5th in total passing yards on the season at 906, with 4 touchdowns on the season, all while being sacked 11 times. This man is good. Houston might have the quarterback of their future right here, which is very exciting because Deshaun Watson was a great player for a little bit. You know what happens after that. But I'm not gonna elaborate any further on that. But Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars is a number 1 AFC team. AFC number 2 AFC second seed in the playoffs, according to many experts. And the Houston Texans went on the road and beat them by 20. Don't know why, don't know how, but that happened. You think Kyle Pitts? All right, so since we're talking about this now, Sunday, I could definitely tell the Atlanta Falcons are trying to figure out their passing offense because Detroit has a very good run defense, but their passing defense is terrible. And the only guy that was repeatedly targeted throughout that game was Kyle Pitts. So it's going to be any receiver on that Atlanta team, it would be Kyle Pitts. But, well, what's his name? I don't know if Jacksonville particularly has a great passing defense, but we'll see what happens. Mahomes or CJ Stroud? Oh, dude, CJ Stroud all the way. CJ Stroud is going to be the next MVP. Actually, I grew up as a Michigan fan, so I shouldn't say that. Plus, Patrick Mahomes is hands down the best quarterback, best player in the NFL. There's no argument. Sorry. No argument for anyone else. I know you'll agree with that, but yeah. Speaking of another GOAT, we have Joshua Dobbs and the Arizona Cardinals. Holy shit. Woo, I love another team that I come to love because they beat the Dallas Cowboys. If you beat the Dallas Cowboys, you are a fan favorite of pretty much everyone in the NFL that's not a Cowboys fan. Porter, do you agree with that? But the Arizona Cardinals, how? Like another head scratcher. I don't know. I don't know how. I would have bet my life that the Dallas Cowboys would have won that game. And someone would have needed to tell my mama I wasn't coming home. Because, holy shit, the Arizona Cardinals pulled off the win and embarrassed the Dallas Cowboys. Don't know how that happened, but this Arizona Cardinals team, a lot of people, including myself, predicted them to get 2 wins on the season. Could have been 3-0. They're only 1-2, which is still good at this point in the season because I thought they were going to go 0-9. They are now 1-2, had the potential to be 3-0. You have the I don't know about all that. How many upsets you taking? Mac Jones is playing a lot better this season. Again, he's another guy that's top 10 in passing yards so far this season. It's got to be the Bill O'Brien effect, actually having an offensive coordinator, not a defensive coordinator calling plays. I don't know what they were thinking, having Matt Patricia call plays, because that was a disaster. That was an absolute disaster. But I believe that game's in Dallas, right? So I'm gonna roll with the Cowboys on that one, most likely. Yeah, that's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock game, Eastern time in Dallas. Give me the Cowboys in that one. But it will be close. It'll be a close game. Obviously, not the traditional poverty team that the Cowboys get to play. Anyways, moving on to 25th. This team was 2-0. Now they're 2-1, and they lost in tremendous fashion. Dude, don't do me like that. You have the Packers. You have the Packers tomorrow, Falcons, Bears, and Pats, and the Bucks. Okay, I agree. I agree with the Buccaneers pick. Honestly, I think they look much better than the New Orleans Saints, especially, I don't know the status on Derek Carr and if he's playing or not. I know the injury, I don't think the injury was very serious. Texans, who's Houston play? They play, I can see Houston getting a win against Pittsburgh. Also think I agree with the Buccaneers pick. I think the Bucks, although the Saints defense has looked really good, so has the Buccaneers defense, and Baker Mayfield has looked incredibly good. So I'm with you on that one. Honestly, the Green Bay one, I know you have the Packers. Honestly, Jordan Love has been balling this season. I'd say as of now, I would put him in the Pro Bowl based off of what we've seen so far. That might be a hot take. I don't know, but I think Jordan Love has definitely been one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Sitting under Aaron Rodgers for 3 years probably helps out with that. But I would not be shocked at all to see the Green Bay Packers get the win Thursday night, solely because of all of the firepower they're getting back on offense. I believe Bakhtiari was hurt. They're getting Christian Watson, hopefully, and then Aaron Jones. For my sake, for my fantasy team's sake, I hope that Aaron Jones comes back because I always love playing. I love playing fantasy players against the Detroit Lions. That way, if the Lions do some dumb shit, at least, one of my players is going to go off. I used to do that all the time. I used to pick up the defense that was playing against the Lions. It's a good strategy. Should I take the Rams or the Colts? Again, tune in tomorrow to hear my expert predictions. But Rams. Going with the Rams. That might be a little bit of an upset, honestly. That's going to be a great game because the Colts, as you can see, are not in the bottom 12 of my power rankings. So this team is impressing people. I think that offensive line is finally back to what it used to be, which is perfect for both Gardner Minshew and Anthony Richardson. Either one, whichever one is playing quarterback that day, both have been pretty good. So far, Michael Pittman is balling his ass off. Jonathan Taylor might want to think about taking the field because once you add him into the equation, he's going to have another big day, big year. In fact, if this offensive line can keep up what they're doing. But anywho, the Washington Commanders, they're frauds. I'm sorry. Sam Howell threw 4 interceptions against, again, a good Bills defense. Not that great, but maybe, who knows? Maybe they are super good. But the Commanders, so many people had them in their top 10, and I'm just because they're 2-0. They played the Cardinals and they played the Broncos. Both are teams currently under them. And I thought really hard about putting the Cardinals above the Commanders just because of how close that game was and the fashion that the Commanders won the game in by 8, I think. But 2-0 team, they're frauds. They're not going to be good. They're not going to be a playoff team. Moving on, 24th, Jack, I don't know if you're still listening, but here are your New York Giants. Again, I agree with you. I do think they might be better than 24th come the end of the season. But as of now, from what I've seen so far from this team, I can't rank them any higher than 24th. It's just, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. The Giants, I need them to get a win in a convincing fashion, and they can definitely do that Monday night against the Seattle Seahawks. That will be a game that they could use to prove themselves. Woo! All right. 23rd, we have our best 0-3 team, the Minnesota Vikings. Last season, I'm sure everyone's heard it. Probably around the same time, so 5 o'clock, and hopefully all of my whole fan base can pull up. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll probably be live around 5 o'clock tomorrow. That is the plan. Doing my predictions. It's gonna be great. Gonna get them all right. I wasn't too bad last week, but I'll go through what my picks were last week. I have a pick'em with my family. Like I do like a little pool. ESPN's Pigskin Pick'em. Oh yeah, I streamed it. Yeah, y'all saw that. Apparently, I misclicked and accidentally took the Bears instead of the Chiefs. So I was significantly confused, and I could have beaten my mom if I did that. But it's all right. I swear. Oh, you're welcome, Jack. I swear that I did not pick the Bears to win that game. I would no one with the right mind would have done that. Anywho, Minnesota Vikings 11-0 in one-score games last season. They are 0-3 so far this season at the Carolina Panthers in one of the toilet bowls. All right, bet. I mean, feel free to tell me your picks now, dude. I appreciate you coming in here and joining in on the conversation. That's probably that is my favorite thing to do while I'm doing live streams. So, yeah, hit me up with any questions. Yeah, my dad is still on top on the picks. I do know some of your picks. You got a lot of upsets next week. We'll see what happens though, because again, like I said, week 4, that's always week 3 and 4 are always where the craziness happens. So we'll see. But moving on to 22nd, we have the New Orleans Saints, another very overrated in my opinion, 2-0 team. This team was 2-0. They beat the Carolina Panthers and the Tennessee Titans. Again, 2 teams ranked below them. And then they had a 17-0 lead against the Green Bay Packers. Of course, Derek Carr did come out, I believe, in the end of the third quarter, and Jameis Winston came in. That, I feel like if Derek Carr did stay in, the Saints would have maybe won that game. I do think the Packers defense balled out, and they deserve to win the game at the end of the day. But, again, we don't really know because Derek Carr got hurt. And I think it's pretty safe to say that Derek Carr is better than Jameis Winston. Either way, this team has been significantly overrated because none of the teams they beat are that good, and they beat them by a combined 4 points. Nothing too crazy. Anyways, moving on to 21st, and this is probably why Faison isn't in here because I have the Green Bay Packers at 21st. Now, again, like I said earlier, Jordan Love is he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. So far this season, he's been playing like a Pro Bowler. He's been great. But they were down 17-0 against the New Orleans Saints, and who knows, they might have lost that game if Derek Carr stayed in the game. Who knows? They have a great opportunity to prove themselves this Thursday night at home against my Detroit Lions. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked if the Green Bay Packers do come away with a win there, and if they do, they will soar on these rankings. Don't you guys worry. Oh boy, here we go. So you got Bills. All right, I don't know if the Bills counts as an upset. I know you're not saying it is. You have a primetime game against... Wait, did the Giants play again? Jack, I'm sorry, man. I don't have to be there by your side, like, comforting you every time the Giants lose on primetime. But either way, so you have the Bears. You have the Bears beating the Denver Broncos in the Toilet Bowl. Chat, this is real. This is real. What's up, Zane? How you doing, man? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Giants have a rough stretch of games. It's not fair. All right, so someone already told me that the Falcons were going to go 16-1. And you know, go for it because your one loss is against the Detroit Lions. That says a lot about the Detroit Lions. But so Porter, he has Ravens. Who do the Ravens play? Oh, he has Ravens beating the Browns. Bengals beating the Titans. Nothing crazy. I'm sure you have the Eagles, right? Yep. Texans. Chargers. Patriots upsetting the Cowboys. Niners. Wait, do you have the Niners? Do you? Yeah. It's only, but in your defense, you do play some of the better teams, but again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That won't be, that's going to be a momentum killer where you didn't have any to begin with, but that's not a fun way to start off your season. I know what it's like. But anyways, I guess we can move on to, I'm sure you picked the Niners, right? Against the Cardinals. Come on. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. All right. If the Cardinals beat the 49ers, how far do I raise this team? The Cardinals beat the 49ers. I can't put them in the top 10, right? But they got to be in the top half of the league. Whew. All right. My brain can't handle it. The Cardinals are not going to beat the 49ers. No way. But anyways, 20th, Zane. Probably the least annoying Falcons fan. Yeah, Porter's the guy that all of my little brother's friends harassed last time. And he's a Chiefs fan. They have no quarrel with the Falcons, but it's all right. Falcons. That's what someone said. Someone told me on these posts the Cardinals should be the number 1 team because they beat my former number 1 team. It's kind of crazy how last week some people's power rankings, the people that had Cowboys at 1. All right, I'll see you, Porter. Thank you, man. I appreciate you hopping on and sharing your predictions. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, Cards have the most. You too, man. Have a good one. Jack, that is a very accurate statement. I love the fight on this Cardinals team. They might, the roster isn't pretty, but some of the players on this team, Joshua Dobbs, Rondale Moore, Marquise Goodwin had a touchdown last week, I believe. James Conner. They've been pulling their weight. They've been doing what they needed to do. I had the Falcons like at 17th, so that's not that big of a drop. I don't think that's pretty standard. Some people might have even had them drop more, but I'm a registered Falcons hater. You know me. But yeah, I could see what Arthur Smith was doing. There, oh, Steven, you just missed Porter. Damn it. He wanted y'all in here, man. But Falcons disrespect this. I'm a Falcons hater. What can I say? Hey, Porter has the Falcons beating the Jaguars in London at 9:30 a.m. Ooh, I'm so excited to have football in the morning. That's going to be great. You're better than... Are you saying that you're at least 15? Hell no. Hell no. I can see what Arthur Smith was trying to do against the Detroit Lions. I feel like he was trying to throw the ball. Yeah, exactly. He was trying, but he has no clue on how to do it. So they made the Lions defense look insanely good. And as much as I want to say, yes, the Lions, after all of these years, have figured it out. They are finally good. Zane's an op. But the Lions have finally figured it out on defense. But I already know we're going to play the Packers Thursday night, and Jordan Love is going to flame us. Wait, Zane, you know the real reason why you guys lost is because you guys played Jeff Okudah. Y'all saw that, man, saw that tape, and you're like, that's the guy. That's the guy that should start. I know he had, like, nothing to do. Like, his name probably wasn't called out, like, more than twice. I love the Falcons jokes. Hey, we'll see how the Falcons fare against the Jacksonville Jaguars. If the Houston Texans can beat the Jaguars, the Atlanta Falcons can beat the Jaguars. And then if that happens, I guess the Jaguars just suck and the Colts can win the AFC South. That's fine. But now you have multiple Derrick Henry, so it's better, right? In theory. Anywho, 19th, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, again, kind of... Did he not play last week? I thought he did. But you don't want him to play. You don't want him to play. Trust me when I say this. You do not want Jeff Okudah to play. You don't want him to play. Keep him away. The pass defense is good right now, especially through the first 2 weeks. It might have something to do with Jeff Okudah not being on that field. No Christian Watson. He can wait a week. Please. Aaron Jones, though, can play because I have him on my fantasy team, and I desperately need, like, Zane, the league in Evans League, the league I cooked you in week 1, I haven't won a game since because I had Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones, and there's nobody on that waiver wire to fix that. But I did get the Dolphins guy, so there's that. Anywho, The New York Jets I have at 18th. Or I didn't talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 19th. Got exposed a little bit by the Philadelphia. He is an op. Got exposed a little bit by the Philadelphia Eagles. I am a Jeff Okudah op. Dude, we wasted a 3rd overall pick on that man. He played like ass cheeks the whole time. And the time he wasn't playing, he'd get out for the season because of a paper cut. Yes, I am a DB despiser. I hate this guy. I'm just kidding. I love Jeff Okudah. He was a great guy. He got a pick 6 against Justin Fields, which isn't a big feat, but okay. Anyways, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think, are the best team in the NFC South, despite getting some work done on them by the Philadelphia Eagles. But 18th, the New York Jets. I'm just holding on to the fact. Oh, I love you too, Zane. I ain't gonna lie. Is Jack Tully gonna play next week? Yeah. Pick him up in all of your fantasy games. He's gonna play, or don't pick him up. He's gonna play offensive tackle for the New York Giants. Bye, Zane. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. But anyways, New York Jets, I'm holding on to that Buffalo win week 1. Holding on to it, thinking that this is the exact same New York Jets team as last season with a great defense, but a holy shit, goddamn awful offense. And so far, it's kind of looks pretty similar. They lost to the Patriots for starters, so that's one clear as day similarity. Honestly, probably. I feel like a toothpick would be better than Evan Neal. I don't actually think that. But anyways, Jets, if you keep getting fucking blown out every game, I will eventually drop them. I know a lot of people already put them at the bottom of the league because they haven't been playing good in the slightest. But anyways, 17th, I have the Indianapolis Colts, who have been playing exceptionally well so far this season. Anthony Richardson looks like a dog. The offensive line is outstanding so far. Looks like the Colts are slowly getting back into winning ways. Huge win in Baltimore with Gardner Minshew as their starting quarterback. Good win at Houston. Kept it close against Jacksonville, which is why I only have the Jaguars one spot above them, because the Jaguars are a team so far this season, besides that week 1 game, have looked significantly disappointing. Trevor Lawrence has been disappointing. The whole offense as a whole. Like I said, I was banking on this offense being extremely good. A top 5 offense is what I wanted, because I took so many Jaguars in fantasy, and they're all letting me down. They're all fucking letting me down. I can't. I'm 1-2. Started off 1-0. But I don't know. But the defense hasn't been good either. Houston Texans dropped 37 points on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars need to figure it out. I feel like they always start off the season a little shaky and then pick it up later. So let's see the pickup. Anyways, 15th, Pittsburgh Steelers, the team I've been pretty low on, and maybe I really don't know if I'm overhyping them or underhyping them here, but the defense looks really solid. Of course, Devontae Adams did make a lot of defenders look like Madden glitches, but that's besides the points. That's Devontae Adams. Everyone else has been looking pretty good. TJ Watt, obviously pretty good. Kenny Pickett, not really that good. But, hey, they're 2-1. They have a great win against the Cleveland Browns. They barely won it. Blown out by the 49ers, and then another great on-the-road win in prime time against the Las Vegas Raiders. So 15th, Pittsburgh Steelers. They're mid, okay? What can I say? Moving up to 14th, the New England Patriots. Again, as I said earlier, Mac Jones is playing a lot better. Bill O'Brien effect. It's the Bill O'Brien effect. No more Matt Patricia calling plays. That was a terrible idea to begin with. Mac Jones is back to how he looked 2 years ago, kind of. New England Patriots defense has looked really good. Christian Gonzalez and crew. Patriots at 14th. This is an underrated team. A lot of people expected them to lose this division, and maybe they won't go as far as to make the playoffs. They do have an incredibly tough schedule, but that being said, they are one of the top half of the. They are the top half of league based off of how good they are. 13th, the Cincinnati Bengals. I really don't want to drop the Cincinnati Bengals any lower. They did get their very first win of the season against the Rams yesterday? Today, Tuesday? No, it was Monday. So good job, Cincinnati Bengals, on getting your win. But that win could not have been any uglier. I know a win is a win, and I want this. I know by the end of the season that this team is going to be a top 10 team. That's just usually how it works out with the Cincinnati Bengals. But they barely nudge out a win against the Rams, who I have ranked 9th, but really didn't have a good game either. And I guess the Bengals kept it close against Baltimore, but I'm not convinced. Joe Burrow has sucked this season. He's ass. He's been ass this season. So I need some more convincing from the Cincinnati Bengals if I'm going to put them back in the top 10 as of now. Now, number 12, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. They were 0-2, got their first win of the season in Minnesota. Tough environment to win at. They got it done. They've been scoring points all season. Justin Herbert has been playing fantastically. Is that a word? I don't know. Defense has been not good. Not at all. And really, I'm sorry. I already lost faith in Brandon Staley, but that was a good win to pull through against the Vikings, because that's usually a game that they win, and that's usually a game that the Chargers lose. And the Chargers came away with the win. Not much else I could say. They did still lose to the Tennessee Titans in overtime, which I know isn't that bad, but I'm also going to need to see a little bit more from the Los Angeles Chargers if I'm going to put them in my top 10. All right, moving on to 11th, just out of the top 10. It's kind of crazy that I'm the one underrating the Detroit Lions, because I guess everyone else is overrating them, in my opinion, because the Detroit Lions defense on Sunday was fantastic. I've never seen the Lions defense play that well ever in my entire life. But the offense really wasn't great. They were patient, like Dan Campbell said, and they got the job done. But, Jared Goff already has 2 picks on the season. The one he had yesterday was bad. Not yesterday, Sunday. Offense really hasn't been rolling like I would have liked it to. And honestly, it might be an overrated offense. I need to see them get back to the form they were in last season and have the defense stay the same. Then my confidence will shoot up. But as of now, I don't want to put the Detroit Lions in the top 10. I will put the Seattle Seahawks in the top 10, who, after an embarrassing Week 1 loss, have been rolling ever since. They got a good, tough win at Detroit in Week 2. And then pulled out an easy victory against the Carolina Panthers. It wasn't easy. It was only a 10-point game. But they did come through with the win at home. Good job, Seattle Seahawks. You were number 10. 9th is the Rams, and I think this is probably the most hated ranking that I have out of all of them, because the Rams, like the Cincinnati Bengals, they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. They didn't look good. Matthew Stafford has not been, besides Week 1, has not looked good at all. But that was a statement win from Week 1. They kept it close against the 49ers, which makes me believe that they have the ability to be a playoff team and that they can win big games. They did lose to the Cincinnati Bengals, but I do think the Bengals will eventually be a top 10 team. So honestly, I don't think that loss is that bad. But anyways, we'll move on to our top 8 teams. Number 8, we have the Baltimore Ravens getting their first loss last season. I believe they were 6th before. Tough home loss against the Indianapolis Colts. Last-minute field goal in overtime. Had the chance to win it, but Justin Tucker, believe it or not, missed the 50-plus yarder. It would have been nice if he could have done that, 3 years ago instead of kicking, the NFL record or some shit like that. That's some fucking bullshit. Of course, you only fucking do that against the Lions. It's fine. But that's besides the point. Baltimore Ravens, I still believe, are a top 10 team. I'm not going to put the Detroit Lions above them. They slipped up one game. This usually happens around this point in the season. They'll bounce back better. Maybe not. I don't know because they have a tough opponent next week in week 4, that opponent being number 7, the Cleveland Browns, whose defense has been incredible. This defense is really good. I know they have Myles Garrett, Juwan Thornhill, and all of them. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, other guys, I'm sure. But Cleveland Browns defense has been lights out so far this season. Through 3 games, they've shut down Joe Burrow, and then they shut down Derrick Henry on Sunday. A lot of people don't want them to be in the top 10. Deshaun Watson finally had a good game. If that continues, this team is a playoff game winning team. I hate to say it because I really don't. The whole offseason didn't even consider the Browns to be a playoff team. But, hey, so far they are playing like it. Now, number 6 is the former number 1, the Dallas Cowboys. Again, I already touched on it when I talk about the Cardinals, but what the fuck happened? What happened? I'm lost for words of how shocked I am. The Cowboys, 12-point favorite, 11.5-point favorite at Arizona, and they lost to Joshua Dobbs. Now, credit to that Cardinals team. They've looked a lot better than people said they would, but Cowboys, I thought that was a for sure win. But I can't drop them that far because this defense, besides that game, has still been playing prolifically. They've been a great defense. Dak hasn't really proven himself this season. He had one great game against the New York Jets, and after that, it's kind of all right. But we'll see what happens with the Dallas Cowboys moving forward. But I no longer think that they are the best team in the NFC, let alone the NFC East. Moving up to number 5, the Buffalo Bills have re-entered the top 5 NFL teams after a Week 1 loss against Zach Wilson and the New York Jets. The Buffalo Bills have been rolling in tremendous fashion with blowout wins against the Las Vegas Raiders and the Washington Commanders. Neither team very good. They have a date with the Miami Dolphins, who are ranked 2nd next week. That's going to be the game of the week. That's going to be a great game to watch. Honestly, do think the Buffalo Bills are going to have a great chance at winning that game. Moving on to 4th, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, who running the football has looked great. Offensive line has been fine. Defense has been great. It's been fine. And Jalen Hurts is really, they're winning games, but he has not been looking like what he used to be last season. So it must be the coordinating change. But again, the Eagles, they're 3-0, but they are the worst 3-0 team, in my opinion. They have been the least impressive out of all of them. Could potentially have 2 losses against the Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings, but did pull out a convincing win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 25-11, which, by the way, is the first time that scoreline has ever happened in the NFL, I believe. Moving on to number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs are back. I know they played the Chicago Bears, and the Chicago Bears suck, but they're back. Travis Kelce, I believe he had a pair of touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes looked great. I love how Blaine Gabbert attempted 5 passes and threw 2 interceptions. So that shows you how good he is. Hi, Faison. You're late, man. Where have you been? Oh, he made it. I love it. You're just in time. All of y'all missed Porter. He was looking for y'all earlier, then he had to go. Hi, Faison. How's it going? Faison, you made it just in time for the top 3. So I'm sure this is a pretty standard top 3, I think. 49ers, Miami Dolphins, and then the Kansas City Chiefs, I think is... I feel like most people can agree on that. Depending on which order you have them in, the Miami Dolphins or the San Francisco 49ers really doesn't matter, because the Miami Dolphins put up 70. They put up 70 points against the Denver Broncos and won by 50. They scored at least 2 touchdowns every quarter. Some quarters they scored 3. This team is insane. I remember seeing I won't be hating Faison. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for pulling up. Number 1 fan right here. But the Miami Dolphins, whoo. Damn. 50 points. I remember seeing these analysts on TikTok, and they predicted the Dolphins to go 6-11. They are halfway there. Now I get it. They considered an injury to Tua Tagovailoa in there, but hey man, Mike White threw 2 passes and one of them was a 60-yard touchdown pass. That's how bad the Broncos defense has been so far this season. But I have the 49ers at number 1 for a variety of reasons. One, they have looked pretty consistent offensively. The Giants defense just could not tackle any of those guys. There are so many good yards after catch players on the San Francisco 49ers. And in addition to that, the defense has been lights out and has looked pretty consistent as well. Whereas Miami's defense, depending on who they play, there is some opportunities for them to slip up, I think, such as when they almost lost to the Los Angeles Chargers week 1. But yeah, that's going to conclude it. Faison, don't you worry. I know you just came, but I will be streaming again tomorrow to predict the week 4 games. We got a big one coming up on Thursday night, the battle for first place in the NFC North. If the Lions win that game, I am confident moving forward. But until they do that, I'm not going to be. I'll rewind for you, but the Green Bay Packers, they have one convincing win on the season against the worst team in the NFL. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons. That's embarrassing, Faison. You know that. You can't lose to the Falcons. And then, yeah, the disrespect. But look, they're down 17-0 against the New Orleans Saints in the fourth quarter. They did pull off the comeback win in tremendous fashion. Jordan Love is playing his heart out. He's playing great football. The coaching on that team is great, but you were down 17-0 against the New Orleans Saints, a team who I don't think is that good in the slightest. And again, I think they're all right, but so are the Atlanta Falcons. What's up, man? How's it going? Dang, why does the viewer count go up every time I'm about to dip? All right, for all of you that are just getting here, these are my NFL power rankings. You're not gonna like them. Faison is already hating. Oh, Brynoon. Oh wait, Faison, is that your friend? That's your friend, isn't it? I think Luke showed me. But yeah. So for those of y'all missing it, here are the full power rankings. I'll just go ahead and scroll through them real quick. These are the last 12 teams. So big pool of teams right here. And then I have hot take the Los Angeles Rams in the top 10. Well, I welcome him to the Pro Nerd Sports Podcast, episode 14, I believe. I feel like I've done way more than 14 of these, but I guess not. Hey, I'm almost halfway through the school semester too, guys. I don't know if y'all are too. Probably not, because you're just only at fall break, but it'll be over before you know it. I'm counting down the days because I love to do this way more. And I'm about to fiend over Christmas break. Trust me, I'm counting down the days because I get to work back at my other Chick-fil-A and get paid big bucks. And I get to do this way more often. So moving forward again. Oh, nope. There we go. So those are the top 8 teams. That's what we're looking at so far, headed into week 4. Faison and I got a date on Thursday night as our teams face off for the lead in the NFC North. Again, it's going to be a great game. I think the Detroit Lions defense, ironically, paired with the Packers offense and vice versa. Both teams have been pretty consistent on both sides of the ball. So we'll see what happens Thursday night. Wouldn't be shocked to see the Packers win it. But that is all from me today. I thank you to everyone that came by and watched. Faison, thank you for making time to come hop in the stream. Brynoon, hello. Welcome to the channel. I hope to see you more often. Thank you to Jack and Zane and Porter and I guess Steven, sure. And Holly for pulling up and watching the stream. I really do appreciate it. I'll be live tomorrow at 5 o'clock again, making my predictions for the week 4 games. But until then, I will see you all next time. If you haven't yet, please subscribe because it'll help me out so much. I love all of you. Please subscribe, like, and subscribe. Follow the Instagram at Pro Nerd Sports. There will be a TikTok up soon. You can follow. It is Pro Nerd Sports on TikTok. And I do have a Twitter, but I don't really use it. So, anywho, I'll see you all in the next one. Again, thank you for coming in, stopping by, and saying hello. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. Boop, 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 boop.